Hi, my friends. Welcome to another 3 in 5 weekly session with Patrick Allman, where I give you 3 marketing tips in 5 minutes. I realize you don't have a lot of time, you don't have a lot of resources, and your attention's split all over the place. So every week I do a video where I talk about 3 marketing tips, either in the online or offline world, that will help your business. It's like a cram course in education. This week I'm doing a special one for Matthew in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, who asked a question of his father, Scott, who in turn asked the question of me, should I be charging a fixed price for a project versus an hour? I guess he's going to be out as a freelancer and he wants to know, should I be charging hourly or fixed price? And my answer to Scott back was, I prefer the project or the fixed price model, and I had 3 reasons. So that's our 3 in 5 topic today, why you should charge for your value or a project price versus charging, for an hour of your time. Now, this isn't a 100% rule, but most of the time, and the better I've gotten in business over time, I've realized this rule applies to the work that most people that I know do over and over. And here are the 3 reasons. The first one is it removes ambiguity from the relationship. If I give somebody a quote of my hourly time, I'm not quite sure how long the project's going to take. So I give somebody a range of hours estimate and I say, you know what, it's $150 per hour, and it might be a 3-hour project, or it might be a 5-hour project, or it might be a 10-hour project or a 15-hour project. So you have to give somebody a range so they're not really sure 100% what the price is going to be, versus if you give somebody a fixed price, they know right away whether or not it's in their budget, and then you also know whether or not you have some negotiating room. If you're lucky, you came in way under their budget and it's going to be profitable for you, and if you came in over their budget, then there's some negotiating room. But I just like removing that ambiguity from the conversation. Here's how much here's how much money it's going to cost to get this done, no matter how much the time is. So that's the first reason. The second one is it forces you to start thinking about your work as a value item versus your time as a value item. And what I'm referring to is, in the hourly model, every single time you're sitting down doing that thing, whether it's talking to someone, whether it's teaching someone, whether it's a paper route, no matter what it is, you are charging for your existence or for your effort to actually sit there and do that thing. And if you think about it, when you're charging by the hour, what you're really doing is charging by the minute and by the second, because that's what it all comes down to. Rather than look at it that way, what I prefer to do is look at the value of what I offer as a bundle. My time is more valuable, and what I know is more valuable than just sitting with me every single hour. So what you're going to get is you're going to get my experience, you're going to get the things I've book learned, and the things that I pick up every single day as a result of working with me. So you're going to get a lot more out of me personally if you work with me by the project and taking my overall experience and my solution for you, and you're going to get a better return on that. You may work with me and I may charge you $3,000 for a project, but I promise over time you are going to get a much bigger return on that than you would have, versus just the straight hourly model. So that's another reason. And the third reason is it forces you as the consultant or as the business owner to get more efficient. I can guarantee you probably the first time that you quote a project as a value project, as a fixed price project, it's going to take you a lot longer than you actually estimated. And it's going to probably result in, it's going to seem like it's not worth it. But what's going to happen is the next time you quote that project and you use that price, you're going to get a little bit better at it. It's going to take you a little bit less time, but you took in the same amount of money. Eventually, you are going to get very efficient at it, and so it's going to be great that the project may eventually take a half to 2/3 of the time that it originally took, but you're still getting the same amount of money. So you're actually bringing in more money in your business because you're spending less effort on getting the same amount of work done. Matthew and everybody else, I hope this has been valuable for you today. That was a great question, Matthew. It took me a couple of decades to learn the answer to that question, because I have to admit, when I started off in my business, I was all about charging hourly, and it was a nightmare for me. And so I only do that in very extreme cases, but for the most part, if you come work with me, I'm going to charge you by the value. Thank you for watching the 3 in 5 tip. Be sure you click on that subscribe button, which I'm sure I put on the screen by now, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also go look for other 3 in 5 tips. I have a whole playlist on my YouTube channel set up for these various lists, and I put out one every single week, and they should be usually no shorter than 4 minutes or no longer than 6 minutes. But it gives you a weekly way to get some good marketing knowledge injected into your brain, which will help improve your business and make your life better. There's the timer. This has been Patrick Allman with AllAboutFocus.com. Have a great week, a great weekend, and we'll chat again next week.